What's going on, guys? Matthew Moniz here. This is the Lenovo Legion Y530, a budget gaming laptop that's been completely redesigned compared to last year's Y520. This year it retails for under $1,000, making it a great option for someone who's just getting into gaming and doesn't want to spend tons of money. But the question I always ask is it actually worth it? Well, we're about to find out. The design is definitely the biggest change. Last year we had a laptop that looked like your typical red and black gaming laptop. This year it's completely black, it's minimalistic, it's a lot smaller, and even though it's made out of all plastic, the laptop itself doesn't feel cheap. The top has this rough texture to it, which basically has spirals that emanate from the O in Legion. The O itself lights up white, which is a nice touch, and the laptop is light enough that you can take it to class. In fact, compared to the Dell G7, the Acer Predator Helios 300, this one is the lightest out of the bunch. The port setup is the next big change. On the left-hand side, you have a USB 3.0 port. On the right-hand side, you have another USB 3.0 port, and all the rest of the ports are on the back of the device. You get a Noble lock, a power connector, RJ45, full-size HDMI port, another USB 3.0 port, a mini display port, and a USB Type-C that's not Thunderbolt 3. Now, I kind of like the fact that Lenovo went with this design. It's very similar to what Alienware is doing with their laptops. This provides a couple of neat features. First and foremost, it offers better cooling as you offer some more space in the chassis to allow the fans to breathe. The second thing is all your ports are on the back. So that means when you plug your cables into it on a desk, they're not going to be sticking out from the sides, so everything's going to look nice and clean. Inside, everything is swappable except for the GPU and CPU. There is a 2.5-inch hard drive that can be swapped out for something faster down the road. You have an M2 NVMe drive that gets great read and write speeds. That too can also be swapped out. Battery, very interesting shape. It's only 50 or 52 watt hours, which means you're only gonna get about 4 hours of use before needing to charge. Now, this is not the worst. I just reviewed the Acer Predator Helios 300. That has a 42 watt hour battery. That only gets you about 3 hours of use. The RAM is swappable. This can be upgraded to 32 gigabytes, and I do like the heating and cooling system in this device. I like the fact that the fans are on both sides and the heat sinks or heat pipes are not being shared by the CPU and GPU. The display is the next big upgrade for this laptop. It's 15 inches, it's IPS, it's Full HD, and this one is 60 Hz, but there is a model with 144 Hz that gets a little bit brighter and offers a little bit better color accuracy. The color accuracy on this device is not that great, so if you are buying this to game on and do content creation, you're better off looking at other laptops that have a better display or hooking it up to an external monitor. For gaming, it's totally fine. I found the contrast levels to be good. It's bright enough indoors, but this is only a 250 nit panel, so if you're planning on doing anything outdoors, it's not going to be that bright. But I do love the fact that Lenovo completely trimmed down the bezels. From a visual standpoint, this display looks the best. Now, unfortunately, you do get a webcam. It is on the bottom. It is 720p, and just like every other gaming laptop, it doesn't look that great. It means when you're typing, you're going to see your knuckles, and of course, you're going to be staring up the person's nose. Sound is coming out of two speakers on the bottom of the laptop. They are not that loud, but they do sound fantastic. It has nice crisp highs, good mids. However, there is no bass. So if you want some loud pounding speakers, you're gonna have to carry headphones. The keyboard is fantastic. I love the way they feel. They have this nice rubber texture to it. It's using Lenovo's U-shaped keys. There's good travel distance. It's full size, so you get a numeric keypad, and all the keys themselves are very well spaced. Unfortunately, you can't change the backlighting. It is white. However, I'd rather it be white than red, so good job on that. If you must have RGB lighting, Lenovo is releasing future versions with RGB lighting, and I believe the 730 has RGB as well. Trackpad or touchpad, much better than last year's. Last year's touchpad kind of indented inwards, giving it a very awkward feeling. This year, it's a lot more accurate. It's using Windows Precision drivers. The only thing I don't like is the bottom buttons. I kind of wish they just made this one unified trackpad instead of having buttons on the bottom. Performance is pretty good. Now, this model has the i5-8300H, so 4 cores, 8th gen Intel processor. It has the GTX 1050 Ti, and you can spec it all the way up to an i7-8750H. This means you can play most games comfortably with medium to high settings. It's when you play the more newer titles that are very demanding that you have to drop it down to medium settings. However, if you're just getting into PC gaming, you want something that's fairly portable, this is more than powerful enough to get you going. Heat management is also pretty good with this laptop. You are going to get some thermal throttling. I usually found it was hovering around 2.2 gigahertz after long periods of gaming, but it stays relatively cool, and I didn't notice any frames dropping while I was playing games. Surface temperatures never got hotter than 50 degrees Celsius, which is lower than other laptops like the Acer Predator Helios 300. The other cool thing is the fan noise. Even when it's under full load, it stays relatively quiet. So here are my closing thoughts. I really dig the new look of the Lenovo Y530. This is a big transition compared to last year's black and red laptops. It's clean, it's minimalistic, it still looks like a gaming laptop, but at the same time, it looks classy enough that you can use it for work or even bring to class. Now, for under $1,000, it is a great gaming laptop to get you started. I will be comparing this to other gaming laptops like the Predator Helios 300, the Dell G7, and the Omen 15 in an upcoming video. And in the next month or so, I'm going to be giving a laptop away, so follow me on Instagram. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.